Hello, all you wonderful people. This is Ian Jensen from the Star Linux Project Debian division, and today we are going to be learning how to download and install Ubuntu Linux onto a flash drive to be able to boot on any computer. Today, you are going to be needing a flash drive of any choosing. You are also going to be needing a computer to download and put the flash drive to use with, and then the computer that you want to put Ubuntu on. Let's get started, shall we? We're first going to download a couple of programs. The first program is actually the ISO for Ubuntu. We're going to be going to ubuntu.com and downloading the ISO. Now I already have it, so I'm not going to go through the complete download of it because it is a big file. In my case, it was big. It took a few hours to download. It's a 1.4 gigabyte download. You're going to want to download the latest version. It's going to ask you if you want to donate. Just have them take you to the download, and then it'll tell you thank you for downloading, and it should pop up in the bottom, the download. I'm going to cancel it so that I don't have to go through that whole process. Next, we're going to go to pendrivelinux.com and download their tool that allows us to put the ISO onto a flash drive and make the flash drive bootable. I also have this program. I'm going to cancel it. Now, those two programs are going to help us a lot. The ISO is the actual operating system for Ubuntu Linux. And then the other program, pendrive from pendrivelinux.com, Universal USB Installer, is what's going to allow us to put the ISO onto a flash drive and also make that flash drive bootable. Trust me, we're going to need this program. Next, let's put the ISO onto the flash drive. Open up, make sure that you have your flash drive plugged into your computer, and we're going to format it. Right click on it and click the format in the options. Just leave everything as it is. If you want to add a label, you can, but it's going to remake the label when you go to put the ISO onto the flash drive. The format is complete, and now our flash drive will be available to use as a bootable, as a flash drive that we can put Ubuntu onto. Open up Universal USB Installer. Click I agree. In the top, put whatever operating system you're putting on, in our case Ubuntu. Browse for the ISO, it's right on my desktop. And then choose your drive letter. It was the one flash drive in our case. You want to make sure you don't choose any other drive. Don't mess with any other of the settings, and then click the button down below, create. What it's going to do is it's going to give us a list of all the action it's going to do to the flash drive. In this case, it's just like formatting again, adding the ISO, creating a new label on it. And now it's going to go through the process. This process does take a few minutes. At this time, I am going to explain some of the things that Ubuntu can do. Ubuntu is an operating system, kind of like Windows or Mac. It's open source and it's free, and that's really good for people who want to make projects and do business stuff on a computer but they don't want to spend $150 to up to $300 on an operating system. Ubuntu has support for some programs. Some some other programs might not be supported on Ubuntu, but you don't have to worry about that because as Ubuntu grows in popularity, um, any Linux distribution, now that I should say, uh, more programs will gain support for Linux, and in our case, Ubuntu. Ubuntu comes with support for Microsoft documentations, Word, PowerPoint, in the form of LibreOffice. Um, Ubuntu can be a media center for music, photos, uh, movies. Um, Ubuntu can be used to search the web. It doesn't have support for Google Chrome, as you might know if you come from Windows, but it has a version of Chrome called Chromium. Um, it does support Flash Player, which is a good thing for us, and it's just a really good simple operating system if you want simple and you don't want to pay anything. Okay, we are complete with our installation onto the flash drive. The flash drive now has a new label on it, as we can see in our file explorer, and is taking up some space. That's the actual ISO on there. Now, with putting the flash drive onto a computer, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to turn off your computer completely, plug the flash drive in, turn the computer back on, and when it says press like F2 or F12 to go to boot options, you click that, you go to your boot order, and you make sure that USB device is in the top of the list in your BIOS, and then exit that. I have a virtual machine here to show the installation of Ubuntu because I can't show the installation if there's no way to run a program, if there's no operating system to run the program on. So this is going to be the actual installation process. A few errors, I like to call them errors, will come up when you first boot the ISO on your computer. Just let them go through all its stuff. Don't touch anything. Don't worry about anything. Now, because I have the virtual machine and another program running, and they're both capturing the mouse, it might look weird. There might be double mouses on there, one in the operating system, one on virtual machine, one that's recording from Windows. So just follow the one that seems to be moving the most and doing options. I'm going to put it in full screen here because of my computer monitor will format if I don't put it in full screen. So I'm just reading this because it's info on what full screen does. Okay, now that we're in full screen, we're going to say install Ubuntu. This virtual machine I have set up is set up for 10 gigabytes of storage with 1 gig of RAM. You don't have to worry about that. You just gotta make sure you have at least 6.6 gigabytes available on your main drive that you're installing to, and that it is connected to the internet. I suggest install updates while installing, and if you want, you can install the third-party software that goes with it. I'm not going to do it for this one. It's going to ask you a few things. Just erase the disk and install Ubuntu. You don't have to worry about anything. Because this is a virtual machine and I had no operating system on my virtual hard disk, there is no operating system detected. So I'm going to have it erase the 10 gigabyte, whatever is in the 10 gigabyte file I set up for this, and I'm going to click install now. just click continue on the bottom. It's going to ask you where you are. I am where I am, so that's that. It's going to ask you for your keyboard layout. I have an English United States keyboard. You can type on the bar below to test it out, make sure you got the right one. I'm going to say continue. And then it's going to ask you for who you are. I'm going to just put in my first name, and then it's going to fill out the computer's name and the username. And then it's going to ask you for a password and to confirm that password. I do have quite a long password. Helps a lot. I'm going to say login automatically, just to make things easier. And then it's going to go through the actual installation of Ubuntu on your computer. It's going to give you this little welcome to Ubuntu 14.4, and down below you'll see a progress bar. Most of the software you don't actually have to browse for. You can go straight through their application store. Some are free, some you have to buy. Like I said, you can use it as a media center for music, and you can also play DVDs and photos on there. Photos, there's photo editors. A supported one is GIMP, and I like to use GIMP in some cases. And then it does have Firefox as its main browser, but Chromium is supported and Flash is supported with both web browsers. It does have Office-like tools, LibreOffice, as you can see here. And then access for everyone in the case that it's customizable to your heart's content. Now this process right here, I am actually going to cut out because it does take a while. So that's that. And then towards the end of the installation, it's going to ask you to restart your computer. Now, because I'm in VirtualBox, restarting a virtual machine is a little bit hard, so at the end of that you'll see the speed up of that process, because it does take a while. The links for all the programs and everything will be in the description of this video. I'm just using this time now to talk. If you like the video, you can like it. You can consider subscribing to the channel. There are other Star Linux Star Linux project divisions. I'm just the video maker for the Debian division, and I would have actually done Debian, but Ubuntu is based off Debian, and I think for newcomers to Linux, Ubuntu would be much more familiar to them than the actual Debian operating system. So this is just the restart process of everything. It does take a minute. This is sped up 8 times. And once we're in, you'll see that we are in a desktop environment. It's still loading everything here. You've got the LibreOffice on the side, Firefox, File Explorer, and you can go through and look at everything. And we will look at everything in our next video. Okay, so now, like I said, we'll look at everything in the next video, and if you like the video, like it. If you want to subscribe, post any questions or comments down in the comments below, and all the links, like I said, will be in the description. All of you wonderful people, you can have a really nice day.